God says Archangel Michael is trying to reach you, and this is not a joke. The heavens are pressing on your spirit with urgency because something beyond human comprehension is about to unfold for you. You have walked through days where silence felt like abandonment and nights where the weight of unanswered prayers seemed heavier than the air you breathed, but now in this moment, something divine is opening above you. This is not imagination, this is not wishful thinking, this is the direct voice of God reaching to you through His messenger. And Archangel Michael himself is speaking with a fire that cannot be ignored. He is saying, you will receive a huge amount of money in just 2 minutes, a blessing so vast that your hands will tremble when it arrives, but it is tied to obedience, to quick action, to the willingness of your heart to open now without delay. The heavens do not work on human schedules. They move in divine order, and right now your divine order is screaming in urgency. Open it immediately, otherwise you will lose everything that has been aligned for you. The enemy has always lurked at the corner of your blessings, whispering delay, planting hesitation, sending fear to make you wait one more day, one more hour, one more step. But this time the heavens are warning you with thunder. If you delay, the door will shut and the fortune prepared for you will vanish into the wind. God is watching you closely right now. The angels are circling around you, and Archangel Michael is not calm. He is forceful, pounding at your heart, shaking your soul, declaring that you must not ignore this. You must open quickly, for in the next 2 minutes the scroll of your life is being written anew. What was once stolen from you is being returned, but it requires your participation, your readiness, your willingness to act in faith. This money is not just for luxury, not just for show, it is assigned with purpose, it carries a mission. It is tied to your destiny. It will lift you from shame, from debt, from the whispers of people who spoke badly of you, and place you in a position of honor where even your enemies will be forced to watch silently. They will not understand how, they will not comprehend why, but they will see you rise. Archangel Michael has been wrestling in the unseen, fighting forces that did not want this blessing to reach you. They delayed it, they blocked it, they placed spiritual chains to keep you small. But God broke through. Now the angel is delivering this moment, and he cries out with urgency, do not delay, do not doubt, do not dismiss this as another empty word. This is the hour where heaven's treasury opens above you, and gold is poured down like water. You are on the edge of a miracle that will shock you, but if your heart closes, if you resist, if you brush this away, it will slip. That is why this message has been delivered with such power. God is saying to you, your entire life has been building toward this. Think of the times you were rejected, think of the times people left you, think of the nights you were crying alone, think of the seasons where you felt your prayers bounced against a ceiling. God was not ignoring you, He was preparing this. The delay was not denial. It was preservation, because the blessing had to come at the right time, when you were ready, when the environment around you had shifted, when your faith was stronger than your fear. And now the time is ripe. The next 2 minutes hold more weight in heaven than years of toil on earth. This is not just about money, this is about the release of destiny. Michael is telling you, there is a ledger in heaven, and your name has been written in golden ink. The treasures of kings, the wealth of nations, the abundance hidden in secret places is now being pushed toward you. God hid it from the greedy, from the manipulative, from those who tried to use your goodness against you. He stored it until the moment you would stand in His timing, and now it is here. That is why the angel is almost shouting at you, "Open quickly, do not hesitate, for delay is danger." The heavens are saying, "You have suffered enough. You have carried burdens too heavy. You have lived with less when God ordained you for more. You have walked in shadows when you were created for light. You have been overlooked, underpaid, misjudged, and treated as though your worth was small, but the truth is that your value is immeasurable. God says He is correcting the balance, paying you back for every loss, restoring double for every tear. The huge amount of money coming to you is not random, it is divine compensation. It is justice unfolding in front of you. Archangel Michael says, the atmosphere around you is already shifting. Can you feel it? The unease, the tension, the weight, it is not heaviness, it is anticipation. The angels are arranging things in your favor. People you don't know are about to speak your name in rooms you've never entered. Opportunities you never applied for are about to seek you out. Hidden accounts, forgotten promises, unexpected inheritances, surprise breakthroughs, they are all aligning right now. The spiritual world is louder than the natural one, and it is shouting your name. But heaven warns again, 2 minutes. Not 3, not 5, not later. Now. If you act, you step into it. If you hesitate, it dissolves. God says this is the type of blessing that is time-sensitive. It cannot wait for your doubts to resolve, it cannot wait for your logic to catch up. It requires obedience, trust, surrender. The enemy wants you to think this is just words, but it is not. The enemy wants you to ignore the urgency, but you cannot. You are standing at the threshold of abundance, and the key is already in your hand. All you must do is open. And when you do, the flood will not trickle, it will pour. You will not just receive enough to survive, you will receive enough to transform everything around you. Families will be healed, debts will be erased, new homes will open, journeys will begin, because God says you are worthy of abundance, not scraps. Michael weeps as he says, too many times you ignored the signs, too many times you dismissed the voice, too many times you allowed fear to speak louder than faith. Do not repeat it now. This is not a joke. This is not imagination. This is not coincidence. This is heaven roaring with urgency because your inheritance is descending. And hear this clearly, you are not just a receiver, you are a vessel. This wealth is coming because God trusts you. He knows your heart. He knows you will not hoard it in greed, you will use it to heal, to bless, to lift others, to carry out His purpose. That is why He chose you. Others may have been stronger, richer, louder, more connected, but you were chosen because your heart remained pure even in pain. You were chosen because your tears spoke louder than your words. You were chosen because when others cursed God, you still whispered prayers. Heaven never forgot your devotion, and now it is rewarding you openly. You may not believe how big this is, but you will see it. In just a short moment, the shift will be undeniable. The knock will come, the message will appear, the money will arrive, the opportunity will burst through, and you will realize this was not an ordinary day. This was the day heaven bent down to touch your life. Do not ignore this. Open quickly. Archangel Michael is still standing guard, sword in hand, wings wide, eyes blazing with divine fire, ready to fight off every last hindrance to your blessing. But he cannot force you to open. That part is yours. God says, trust, move, act, believe, because your life is about to be rewritten in gold. God says Archangel Michael is trying to reach you, and this is not a joke because the moment is urgent and divine timing has already been set in motion and the message cannot be delayed any longer, for your destiny has been written in heaven long before the foundation of the earth, and now that hour is unfolding before your eyes in the most unexpected way, and the angels are moving quickly around you because in only a matter of minutes you are about to witness the release of a huge amount of money that was already marked for your name and your inheritance. And the truth is that many forces tried to keep this hidden from you and to block it from reaching your hands, but God is exposing it now because He is tired of the enemy stealing from you and tired of you being pressed down with weight that was never yours to carry. And Archangel Michael is sounding a loud trumpet in the spirit saying, open it immediately, because delay will cause you to lose what was promised, and hesitation can make the blessing slip through your hands, but obedience and trust will anchor it to you forever. And that is why you are reading this right now, because heaven orchestrated your steps to this moment to hear God's urgent whisper and to know you are chosen and safe and protected as long as you keep your heart open and act without fear. God says the reason Archangel Michael is speaking with urgency is because your life is at a threshold of radical transformation, and money, which represents provision and freedom and opportunity, is being poured into your atmosphere, and you are about to touch something that your family never touched, and you are about to receive what generations before you prayed for but never got to see. And this is why the enemy is restless and nervous, because he knows you are the one chosen to break the cycle and to carry the blessing into the future. And this money is not just about bills or needs, but about destiny and expansion and a new level of influence that heaven has appointed for you, because your voice is meant to be heard, and your presence is meant to shine, and your story is meant to inspire. And so heaven says, do not ignore this moment, because it is sacred and set apart, and if you open your spirit now with trust, you will not only secure the money but also the purpose attached to it, which is far greater than the number itself. Archangel Michael says, do not doubt, for doubt is the thief of miracles, and right now you must push away every thought that tries to convince you this is too good to be true, because heaven never lies and God's word is never empty and promises are never given without the power to fulfill them. And Michael says, your enemies whispered about you and said you would never rise, and they said you would always stay behind, but they did not know that God Himself was writing the final chapter of your life. And in that chapter the victory is already declared and wealth is already in your hands and doors are already open and the enemy is already defeated. And Michael says he has been fighting for you in unseen places, battling spirits that wanted to rob you of joy and keep you in lack, but today he has won, and today the scroll is unsealed, and today the money is released, and all that remains is your decision to believe and open it without delay. God says you have been through enough nights of crying, and you have carried enough weight in your heart, and you have battled storms that made you question if you would even survive, but none of that was in vain, because every tear became a seed in heaven and every prayer became a key, and now the harvest is arriving faster than you expected, and it will come in sudden waves, and the first wave is about to hit in only minutes, and you will know it is God, because the timing will shock you and the size will surprise you and the speed will overwhelm you, and you will look back and realize the wait was worth it and the struggles were never wasted, because they prepared your heart to carry what is about to fall into your lap. Michael says he has seen you in your weakest moments when you thought no one was watching, and he heard the cries you never spoke out loud, and he carried those whispers up to heaven and laid them at the throne of God, and the Father said, enough is enough, my child has suffered long enough, and now it is time to restore everything that was lost and to multiply everything that was stolen and to bring wealth into their hands that no one can take away. And Michael says, the heavens are already open and the treasury of the kingdom is already unlocked, and angels of provision are already descending with bundles of blessing, and all you need is to open your heart now, because hesitation will cause the angels to pass and urgency will anchor them to you, and obedience will seal the blessing permanently. God says this money is not just physical but spiritual, for it represents the breaking of chains and the rising of your life into a level of freedom you have never known before. And this is why the enemy has been fighting so hard against you in recent days with confusion and fear and distraction, because he knew the blessing was coming and he tried to blind you from seeing it. But Michael says the blindfold has been torn off and now you see clearly, and now you know the truth, and the truth is you are the one chosen to carry this blessing forward and to use it to heal and to build and to rise, and you will not lose it if you act now with faith. God says, do not worry about who doubts you or who mocks you, because their voices do not matter anymore, and what is about to happen will silence every critic and shock every enemy, and even those who gossiped about you will have to admit that God's hand is upon you, and they will see you rise, and they will see you walk in abundance, and they will see you shine with the glow of heaven's favor. And Michael says this is why it is urgent, because the money is not just provision but proof that heaven defends you and heaven exalts you and heaven vindicates you before every eye that doubted your worth. And so I tell you, beloved soul, you are standing in front of a golden door, and that door is already unlocked, and Michael is holding it open, saying, step through quickly, because the time is short and the blessing is here. And if you hesitate, the door can close, but if you act in faith, you will never see it shut again. And what is on the other side is so great and so wide and so miraculous that it will take your breath away, and you will weep tears of joy. Because finally, after all the years of waiting, you will see that God never forgot you and never abandoned you and never overlooked you, and this moment is the proof. God says open it now, because in 2 minutes heaven is dropping something into your hands that will mark the beginning of a brand new season, and nothing will ever be the same again. And if you accept it, you will never return to lack, and you will never walk in fear, and you will never doubt His power again, because the evidence will be written in your life so clearly that no one can deny it. God says this moment is not ordinary, this moment is not random, this is a divine alignment prepared long before you even knew it was possible, and Archangel Michael is standing before you right now, trying to reach you, calling your spirit, shaking your heart, whispering in your ear that this is not a joke, that the heavenly kingdom has dispatched a miracle with your name written on it, that a huge amount of money is already moving towards you in the spiritual world, and that in just 2 minutes the gate will open, the miracle will fall into your hands, but only if you open yourself to it immediately and not hesitate, because delay will cause loss, hesitation will cause doors to shut, and ignoring will cause heaven's prepared blessing to slip away. God says listen carefully, because this message is only for you. Do not tell anyone else. Do not let the doubters, the gossipers, the liars, or the envious ones steal this from you, because what is being released is not small, it is not ordinary, it is not something you can explain in human terms. It is something so big that even the angels are watching in awe as it unfolds. Archangel Michael says this is a direct order. Open your heart and your spirit now, because the angels are already standing guard around your life, pushing away forces that tried to stop this blessing from reaching you, cutting the chains that others secretly tied around your finances, your opportunities, and your name. Michael has seen the enemy trying to block the bank transfer in the spirit, trying to delay the documents with your name, trying to keep the envelope sealed, but God says no, God has already signed it, God has already released it, and no human hand can cancel what has been sealed by heaven. The wealth is flowing, the fortune is moving, the inheritance is breaking free, and it is rushing into your life like a river that can no longer be dammed up, like a flood that can no longer be held back. God says there is a reason you are reading this now, there is a reason your soul felt the pull to open this at this very moment, because if you had delayed even for a few minutes you would have missed the alignment, and heaven's clock does not wait for those who doubt. The miracle is exact, the timing is precise, the angels move according to heaven's seconds, not earthly clocks. God says open this now, because within 2 minutes a shift will take place. You may not see it immediately with your natural eyes, but the heavenly transfer begins the instant you believe, the instant you accept, the instant you receive this word without doubting. Michael says this is not a joke. Heaven does not play with matters of destiny. Heaven does not speak casually when it comes to financial overflow, when it comes to the reversal of debt, when it comes to sudden abundance. You have been crying for relief, you have been crying for breakthrough, you have been crying for a way out of the tight corners that life has pushed you into, and heaven has heard, heaven has answered, heaven has already dispatched the courier of blessings, carrying the scroll with your name, carrying the key to open what was locked. Michael says he himself has guarded that treasure, and now he is at your side urging you not to miss it. God says, do you remember the nights when you felt like giving up, when you had nothing left, when you thought no one saw, no one cared, no one understood? Those tears did not fall to the ground wasted, those prayers did not bounce back unanswered, they were stored in heaven's bottle, recorded in heaven's book, and now is the moment of release. You are standing at the threshold of the greatest financial breakthrough of your lifetime, and if you believe this word, if you embrace it, you will see it manifest in ways you never imagined. God says you will receive a huge amount of money, not small, not ordinary, but huge, because the assignment on your life requires resources, because the calling on your name requires abundance, because the plans written over your destiny cannot be fulfilled in poverty, cannot be fulfilled in lack, cannot be fulfilled in scarcity. You were not created to struggle endlessly, you were not designed to be trapped in debts, you were not sent here to beg for scraps, you were sent with a purpose, with an anointing, with a mission that requires financial overflow. That is why heaven has chosen this moment to release it, that is why the angels are pressing urgently upon you, saying open this now, act now, believe now, because delay will cost everything. Michael is crying out with urgency because he has seen too many moments where you almost received, almost broke through, almost entered the door, but doubt or distraction or fear made you lose it. He does not want you to lose this one. He says your miracle is right at the door, the delivery is at your gate, the angel courier is knocking, but you must open immediately or the chance will vanish. This is why heaven says 2 minutes, because you must know the urgency, you must know that the window is not endal. Beloved soul, listen carefully, for this is not an ordinary moment in your life. This is a divine interruption, a heavenly announcement that was written in your destiny long before you were even born. God Himself is speaking to you now, and Archangel Michael is pressing on your spirit because time is short, and this message cannot be ignored. You have been crying out silently in your heart for answers, for breakthroughs, for miracles that seem delayed, and God says, now is the moment. In just a breath, in the space of 2 minutes, a shift is being prepared for you that will open the gates of abundance in ways your mind cannot comprehend. You may feel weary, confused, or even doubtful about why such words are being directed at you, but God is saying, you have been chosen to hear this because it belongs to you. Archangel Michael has been hovering over your spirit, trying again and again to whisper to you, but distractions and fears have drowned out his voice. Tonight, in this very moment, heaven bends low to make sure you cannot miss this. This is not a joke. This is not imagination. This is not coincidence. This is a divine appointment. God says, you are about to receive a huge release, not only in the form of money, but in every area of your life where scarcity, fear, and blockages have ruled. For so long, you have looked at your life and felt like doors were closed against you, like people around you were prospering while you were left waiting. Heaven has seen your tears. Heaven has recorded every sigh of your heart. And heaven is announcing right now that the delay is over. Within 2 minutes in God's timing, a spiritual transfer is being arranged for you. But you must open it immediately with your faith, with your trust, with your willingness to believe that God has not forgotten you. If you ignore this, if you walk away thinking it is just words, you may lose what heaven is trying to put in your hands. Archangel Michael says, do not let doubt rob you. Do not let fear silence you. Open your spirit now, for the release is already descending. God has seen the battles you faced, the betrayals you endured, the nights you wondered if your life even mattered. And He says, you matter to me. You were not created to live in lack, you were not created to suffer endlessly, you were created to walk in divine abundance, divine joy, divine authority. Child of God, this is urgent. The enemy has been trying to blind you, trying to make you think that nothing good will ever reach you. But God says, that lie ends today. You are safe, you are protected, you are under the wings of heaven. No evil plan, no hidden trap, no scheme designed to rob you of what is yours will succeed, for the hand of God has overturned it. The angelic army has already been dispatched. Archangel Michael himself has been standing at your door, holding back what was trying to steal from you, crying out for you to recognize the signs. This is why your heart feels restless even now. This is why you feel like something is about to happen. Because heaven is aligning everything for your favor. The 2 minutes are not just earthly time, they represent a divine countdown, a sign that the shift is sudden, immediate, unstoppable. The wealth that seemed impossible, the breakthrough that seemed beyond your reach, the opportunity that looked too far away, God says, it is already in motion. But you must trust Him. You must believe without hesitation. God says, do not be afraid. Do not worry about how it will come, or who will bring it. I am the source. I am the one who controls all things. I am the one who opens doors no man can shut. When you pray, pray with boldness. When you believe, believe without wavering. When you open your heart, open it fully, not half in doubt and half in faith. Beloved, remember this. The enemy wants you distracted, delayed, doubting. He wants you to ignore this message, to scroll past it, to tell yourself that it's not real. But heaven is shouting, heaven is urging, do not miss this moment. The blessing is already being written with your name on it. The abundance is already being stamped with your destiny. It is rushing toward you like a river breaking free from a dam. You are safe. Nothing will go wrong with you. Even the things that looked like they were collapsing will be revealed as part of God's plan to make room for greater blessings. You are under divine protection. Archangel Michael says, I am guarding you, I am fighting for you, I am standing between you and every weapon formed against you. The battles you could not win on your own have already been won in the Spirit. God says, trust me now. Do not hesitate. Pray to me and release your fear, for I am about to release into your hands what generations before you only dreamed of. This is your inheritance. This is your season. This is your appointed time. You will look back and remember this moment as the moment when everything shifted. You will remember that God spoke to you urgently, that Michael reached for you persistently, and that when you finally opened your spirit, heaven delivered what was already waiting. Now, open it. Open your heart. Open your faith. Open your prayer. The abundance is yours. The protection is yours. The miracle is yours. In 2 minutes, heaven is moving. Do not delay. Do not look away. Receive it now. Beloved soul, hear this with the deepest attention of your heart, because it is not a coincidence that your eyes are upon these words in this very moment. God has chosen you, and this message is a divine revelation sent directly for your spirit. This is not a message for the crowd, not something to be dismissed as ordinary, not something to set aside for later. This is urgent, this is living, this is breathing truth that is meant to reach you now, because your destiny is trembling at the edge of divine release. Archangel Michael has been trying to reach you again and again. His wings have brushed against your life, his presence has circled your nights, his voice has echoed in ways you may not have fully noticed, and yet this is the moment when he cries out more clearly than ever. This is not a joke, this is not to be ignored, this is a divine call meant to protect you and elevate you. There is a stream of abundance flowing toward you, and in just moments it will be poured into your life, but the danger lies in distraction, in delay, in disbelief. Heaven does not speak lightly when it says you are about to receive something vast, something that will change the entire fabric of your existence. The message is clear. Within a moment of divine timing, money and blessings in the magnitude you have prayed for will be placed in your path. But there is a warning, too. Hesitation can cause you to turn away from what God has lined up for you. That is why this message cries with urgency. Open your heart now, do not postpone. Do not let fear or doubt steal what heaven has already stamped with your name. God says, do not be afraid, for I am with you. I have not abandoned you, I have not overlooked you, I have not forgotten the secret prayers you have whispered in the quiet where no one else could hear. I have been watching, I have been listening, I have been preparing. Now the doors that were shut are being opened, now the chains that bound your progress are breaking, Now the veil is lifting so you can see the truth of who you are in my eyes. The enemy has tried to scatter lies around you, making you think you are alone, unworthy, forgotten, but God Himself declares that you are chosen, protected, and destined for abundance. Archangel Michael has stood in battle for you, defending your name, shielding your life, holding back the arrows that were meant to pierce your destiny. Even when you did not see it, there were forces aligned against you, plotting to strip you of joy, to rob you of provision, to delay the miracle you have been waiting for. But God's mighty warrior has already overcome them. That is why the urgency is so great, because the breakthrough is here, because the harvest is ripe, because heaven is crying, "Do not delay, do not miss this." Think of how many times you almost gave up. Think of the nights you thought you would not make it. Think of the tears that burned your eyes because you thought your prayers had fallen into silence. But the silence was not absence, it was preparation. God was not ignoring you, He was setting the stage so that when the blessing finally arrived, it would not be small, it would not be partial, it would not be fragile. It would be overflowing, undeniable, unshakable, so that no one, not even you, could doubt that it was from the hand of the Almighty. Now, even in this moment, heaven is aligning events in your favor. There are names being spoken in rooms you have never entered. There are signatures being prepared on papers you have never seen. There are doors unlocking in places you thought were permanently closed. Money that once seemed out of reach is already moving toward you. And this is why God speaks with such intensity. You will receive a huge amount of money, not by chance, not by luck, but by divine design. But if you delay, if you close your ears, if you hesitate, it could pass by, because every blessing responds to faith. Faith is the key that opens the door. Faith is the hand that receives what heaven is giving. Archangel Michael's cry is one of urgency. This is not a joke. Do not ignore. Do not waste time. Open it quickly. His words echo like a trumpet through the heavens. For there are angels carrying treasures toward you, and they will place them into your hands when you show that your heart is open, ready, willing to believe. You may have wondered why the battle in your life has been so intense lately. The answer is simple. The enemy fights hardest when he knows what you are about to receive is too powerful to be stopped. You have been pressed, you have been attacked, you have been misunderstood, but all of it was because you are on the brink of divine release. God says, rest assured, nothing will go wrong. You are safe. My hand is upon you. My angels surround you. My spirit covers you. You will not be destroyed, you will not be robbed, you will not be left empty. You are secure in me. But the Lord also whispers, do not look at this message with casual eyes. This is your moment. This is your time. The harvest you have waited for is already prepared. Even as you read, the Spirit of God is filling your atmosphere. You may feel warmth in your heart, a stirring in your spirit, a trembling in your soul. That is not imagination, that is not coincidence, that is confirmation. Heaven is testifying that this message is real, that this message is yours, that this message has come at the perfect time. For you have been weary, you have been desperate for a sign, you have been asking, Lord, do you see me? Do you hear me? And this is the answer, yes, God sees you, yes, God hears you, yes, God is acting on your behalf. Money, in this context, is not just paper or numbers. It is the key to freedom, the key to relief, the key to moving forward in ways you have only dreamed of. God knows your needs, and He is not ashamed to bless you abundantly. Do not think that it is selfish to receive. Heaven's abundance is your inheritance. You are meant to live free, you are meant to have enough, you are meant to shine as a testimony of God's goodness. That is why this release is urgent, because too long you have been bound, too long you have been under pressure, too long you have carried burdens that were never meant to be yours. But now, in divine timing, God declares freedom. Archangel Michael stands at the gate of your life and proclaims victory. He is saying, Child of God, rise up, receive, open your hands, open your spirit, do not delay. This is the moment when faith becomes action, when prayer becomes manifestation, when heaven touches earth. Close your eyes for a moment and breathe. Imagine the weight lifting from your shoulders. Imagine the chains breaking. Imagine doors swinging wide open. Imagine angels walking into your life with treasures, contracts, opportunities, favor, and unexpected provision. This is not fantasy. This is reality written in heaven, and now it is being released on earth. God says again, trust me. Pray to me. Do not fear. Do not doubt. You are safe. Nothing will go wrong. The urgency is not to frighten you but to awaken you. Time is sacred, and when heaven calls, the wise listen without hesitation. This is your urgent call. This is your open door. This is your answered prayer. Archangel Michael's trumpet has sounded, God's hand has moved, and your abundance is here. Do not lose it by ignoring the message. Embrace it, believe it, and you will see what heaven has promised manifest in your life in ways that will leave you in awe. God loves you too much to let you miss this. That is why this message came. That is why the words burn with urgency. That is why your spirit is stirred right now. Because this is your miracle moment, and it is here. Beloved soul, hear these words with the deepest care, for they are not ordinary words, but an urgent whisper carried through the divine realm to reach you in this very moment. God says, this is not something you can take lightly. The heavens have stirred, and Archangel Michael himself has been sent forth to make contact with you because the hour is critical, the timing is precise, and your destiny hangs in delicate balance. This is not a joke. This is not a passing thought. This is the Father's voice urging you not to turn away, not to delay, not to ignore the call that is echoing over your life right now. There is a window, a sacred opening, where abundance and blessings are being poured directly toward you, and God says you are standing at the very threshold of it. Within only minutes, something remarkable, something beyond your understanding, something that can alter the entire course of your life is being released. The heavenly books have recorded your struggles, your tears, your silent battles that nobody else saw, and now God says the reward is rushing to you faster than you can imagine. It is not far off in the future. It is not something you have to wait years to see. God says, in just 2 minutes, there is a shift, there is a release, and a huge amount of financial blessing is being transferred to you. But listen closely, for the enemy does not want you to receive it. The enemy wants you to be distracted, careless, dismissive of this moment, because if you do not open yourself quickly, you risk losing what was designed with your name on it. Archangel Michael is standing with his sword drawn, not to strike you, but to strike down the opposition that has been sent against you. He is watching, waiting, pressing close, because he has been commanded to guard what belongs to you. The treasure, the provision, the unexpected wealth, this is not from man, it is from God. And because it comes from God, it cannot be stolen unless you allow fear, doubt, or delay to rob you of it. God says, do not be afraid. Nothing will go wrong with you. The snares, the traps, the whispering lies that others have planted against your name, none of them shall prosper. The reason this message reached you is because heaven does not want you to miss your timing. You have cried for breakthrough, you have prayed for release, you have wondered when things would turn, and now God says, my child, the time is now. You have been tested, but you are about to be trusted with more than you can contain. The angels have already gathered. They are surrounding you even as these words are unfolding before your eyes. They are declaring your name before the throne. They are announcing in the heavenly courts that you are stepping into abundance. And Michael, the warrior of heaven, has seen the attacks that were designed to keep you small, broken, and empty-handed. He saw how many times people tried to strip you of your dignity, how many times jealousy rose against you, how many times others mocked your prayers. And still, God says, you did not give up. You pressed forward. You whispered your prayers at night. You believed even when your faith felt like it was breaking. And because of that, the heavens have opened over you. This is why God says, do not delay. In just 2 minutes, something will align, and the current that has been flowing against you will reverse. The losses you endured will begin to turn into gain. The very doors that were locked against you will suddenly swing open. The very hands that tried to withhold your blessing will no longer be able to hold it back, because the Lord Himself has signed the release. You are safe in Him, and nothing shall snatch away what He has placed in your destiny. There is urgency because blessing is time-sensitive. God works in appointed seasons. He has written moments in time where heaven touches earth, and this is one of them. If you ignore it, if you brush it aside, the enemy will take advantage and whisper to heaven that you did not value what was being poured out. But if you open your spirit, if you open your heart, if you say, "Yes, Lord, I receive it," then no force of darkness can interrupt what is about to happen. Archangel Michael is not coming with gentle words this time. He is coming with force, with authority, with holy urgency. He has been trying to reach you because he knows what has been planned for you is too great to miss. You may feel tension in your spirit, a stirring you cannot explain, and that is because the angel of God is standing close, urging you not to dismiss the divine alarm that has gone off in your life. God says, this huge amount of money is not random. It is connected to your calling, to your purpose, to the works you have yet to complete. It will not come to you so you can waste it, it will come so you can rise, so you can build, so you can walk in the fullness of what He has destined for you. This is why the devil has fought you so hard financially. He knows that once you have resources in your hands, you will not only rise, but you will lift others, and the kingdom of darkness will suffer loss. So hear this, God says you are safe, you are covered, you are shielded. Do not let worry grip you. Rest assured, nothing will go wrong with you. This blessing will not harm you, it will strengthen you. This money is not cursed, it is blessed, because heaven itself has written your name upon it. Even now, as you read this, the countdown has already begun. Heaven does not measure time the way earth does, but in this very moment, angels are preparing the delivery. It is rushing toward you, faster than you realize. All you must do is be open, be prayerful, and believe. Trust that God is not a liar. Trust that His promises are not empty. Trust that He saw every tear and every sleepless night, and He did not forget you. Beloved soul, this is your time. This is your release. This is your abundance. Do not ignore it. Open your heart immediately, because heaven is already moving. And when it comes, give thanks. Pray, glorify Him, and know this, the same God who is bringing this money into your life in this moment is also guarding your tomorrow, securing your future, and holding you safely in His hands. Nothing, no one, no force can take away what has already been signed in heaven as yours. God says, trust me. Archangel Michael says, act quickly. Heaven says, it is yours. If you believe me, type Amen.